Zombies are back in Fortune City, and it's time for Chuck Green to take a massive dose of carnage. Dead Rising 2 is everything that its predecessor was, and more. But does Chuck Green have the same balls as Frank West? There aren't many games that can tout that they can have 10,000 zombies on one screen and run at a steady 30 frames per second. Dead Rising 2 is one of those games. Although far from being perfect, the game runs well and never feels unplayable. With a bigger shopping district, it's very easy to forgive the occasional texture pop-ins and some decent character models. Even when you play on the PS3's upscaled sub-HD resolution, it'll be hard to spot the differences. But beware, the PS3 does have some screen tearing when you compare it to its 360 counterpart. Story-wise, Dead Rising 2 takes off a few years after Frank West's journalistic adventure. You play as Chuck Green, a stunt driver for the wacky Terroriz reality show, who lost his wife and is left with a daughter who needs to be attended to by prescribing Zombrex so she doesn't end up turning into the undead. Things soon get out of hand as Fortune City is overwhelmed with an outbreak and Chuck Green is framed for the zombie massacre.
That's complete bullshit!
It's up to you to clear his name before the military comes in to quarantine the area. Along the way, you'll bump into interesting characters who will either aid you in your pursuits or screw you over. The story is pretty interesting, and you'll want to push forward to find out what really happened. And with multiple endings, there's definitely room to head back and play it all over again. Zombie grunts, coupled with drill buckets, spiked bats, boxing nail gloves, and whatever else you can find lying around the streets of Fortune City never sounded so good. The voice acting and dialogue during the cutscenes aren't so bad either, although you'll occasionally get a few cheesy lines. It would have been a bit nicer if there were more voices instead of reading text, because that's exactly what you'll be doing very often when you talk to the other characters. If you're looking for an epic soundtrack, you won't find it here, but if you're looking for a zombie orchestra, you're in the right place. You could probably consider Fortune City a giant theme park, because that's just what it is. With shopping centers, different casinos, and various venues to check out, you have an endless supply of ways to spend your 3 days before the military reaches you. Almost anything you can think of can be picked up and used in some way or another to take out the army of the undead. Add to the fact you can combine different items together to create new inventive weapons such as a flaming lizard, you got yourself a good time killer. Be wary and make sure to keep track of time if you plan on taking care of Chuck's daughter or any other missions you'd want to complete. It really doesn't matter though, since the game will go on no matter what you do. So if slaughtering zombies is all that's on your to-do list, go and have fun. As mindless as zombies are, they can be overwhelming and put you up to a challenge. With no auto-save points, you'll have to constantly make sure you go to the men's bathroom. One death and it's game over from your last save, or you can start all over from the very beginning with all your unlocked abilities. Dead Rising 2 is a fun time waster for anyone who has an appetite for mindless killing, and a decent story with enough ending to see you through over and over again. It's the same old formula applied with the original, along with some new tricks up its sleeve. If you got the cash and some necrophilia, give it a go.